got somebody who wants Adrian Martinez to come back next season, shoot for a Heisman. Let's see.
Well, we've seen Adrian Martinez lately showing the flair and the athleticism that we've been waiting to see, that we talked about coming into the year as well. So, Adrian Martinez is right up there at the top of the nation in production right now at the quarterback position.
Yes, he is. I was checking out the numbers today. Yes, he's played very efficient football, and he's getting outside of contain and breaking down the defense a number of times. Heard him talk the other day about the option play that they've really been working on with 7 or 8 different players, where the speed, the reps, they're really the spacing, they've worked it out, and they feel real comfortable that they've added something to the offense that a lot of teams don't get to see.
Absolutely, and they're getting a lot of guys involved with that, and that option is something that they've been working on a lot and a lot more, because it's a nice little wrinkle that, quite frankly, a lot of teams don't practice against anymore, and they're finding other guys to get involved with that, like Xavier Betts with a huge touchdown run to start the second half of the game, and with an end around that he's been doing his whole high school career, and things are just clicking in a way where Coach Frost, Coach Lubick have got their offensive weapons in place and being able to do the kind of things that they've envisioned in this offense going forward, and now you're starting to see when it all works and it all comes together, good things happen. And what we haven't even touched on, the changes they made on the offensive line that completely solidified things on the offensive side of the ball, and let Nebraska run up the most yards they've ever had in a Big Ten game since they've joined the Big Ten. And if things can keep happening, and the changes that I'm talking about is true freshman Teddy Prohaska came in and started at left tackle, and walk-on Nuri Newellen, former Colorado State starter, came in at left guard, and they both had tremendous games. And you saw that all those mistakes on the offensive line, they kind of went away until they brought in the second team when the game was already out of hand. And you move Turner Corcoran over to the right side. And all of a sudden, this line is clicking, and the only 2 guys that you had still playing the same positions were Cameron Jurgens at center and Matt Sickerman. They're at right guard, and those guys adjusted very well to things, and the offensive line just opened up hole after hole, and Greg Austin today even told us that he put together 20-some odd plays for the offensive line to watch that were from practice during the week and to the game, and things worked out perfectly. Any mistakes they had made during practice, they corrected during the game, and you saw the effect of it. So, right now this offense has gotten a hold of things, and when you eliminate those mistakes and putting yourself back in holes and everything, you kind of see how electric things can be, and Adrian Martinez has the rest of the season here to show the rest of America that he actually is that kind of guy that had that hype coming in to his sophomore season.
Greg, who's the first player that you mentioned, the freshman along the offensive line?
Oh, Teddy Prohaska.
Prohaska.
Yeah.
Because you talked a lot about him during the offseason when he got signed.
Yeah, he was Rivals 100 kid, 6'9", coming out of high school, and graduated early from Elkhorn South here in Nebraska, and came in here, as a freshman last year, and is still a true freshman because of COVID, actually. And we saw him. Nebraska brought him in and used him as a tight end a couple of weeks ago, and he's gotten more and more playing time, and and obviously his red shirt's off the table now because he's a starter now as a true freshman. And we've talked about him several times that Coach Frost was amazed by the development of him and how mature he was and how quickly he was ready to play Division I football. And look at him now. He's starting, and I couldn't be happier for a guy. Really, I couldn't.